How old am I? Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Nikki, and today's video is going to be a video that I've been wanting to make for a while now, and I just have so much that I want to talk about, so bear with me. I just recently hit my 1-year mark starting my weight loss journey, and so I wanted to pretty much explain the entire journey in one video about how I have lost 70 pounds in 1 year. If you enjoyed this video or you find it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and let's go ahead and get started. So if you're new here, my name is Nikki and I'm 26 years old. So my weight is something that I've struggled with my whole life. From when I can remember being in elementary school, I remember being chubbier, and then on I've just always struggled with my weight and my eating habits. To start, I actually just got married this past month to my husband now, Adam. We've been together for a long time, and both of us have really struggled with our weight our whole life. Adam also struggled throughout middle school, high school, and college, and it's just always something that we've wanted to improve in our life and just have struggled with. So this was huge that we started WW together and our weight loss journey together, and we were able to help each other to achieve our goals. I kind of want to start where I really started gaining weight, because like I said, it's been a struggle my whole life to keep weight off or to stay a healthy weight because of my eating habits. I was active enough, but I was not eating well, but it was like I was able to get by kind of with the activity I was doing, that it didn't really catch up to me until I was out of college and not playing college volleyball anymore, which makes sense. I want to start with when we first moved into our house. So instead of getting married, Adam and I decided we were going to buy a house right away when we got engaged, and that was the best decision we've ever made. Because of it, I was able to completely expand my business. I'm an at-home baker, so I do decorated cookies and cake pops and cakes and just different desserts for events, and I love what I do. I have so much fun with it. But it took over my life for a few years, and because of that, my health was just not a priority. And like I said, it's something I've always struggled with, but more recently it became an actual problem. And by that I mean I was scared I was going to get diabetes. I was scared I was going to just get high cholesterol. I was just honestly scared for my health and for Adam's health. We bought our house in July 2017, and that's just when it kind of went crazy, because we really just like let our work schedules take over our life. And because of that, we were eating out constantly, multiple times a week, multiple times a day sometimes. So in those 3 years, we both put on a significant amount of weight. I put on over 50 pounds, and I want to say Adam did the same. And we were drinking a lot of alcohol without paying attention to the sugary mixers we were using. We just weren't making healthy choices for ourselves, and it was showing very, very quickly. This was something that Adam and I talked about all the time, that we were going to change our eating habits. We were going to take it seriously. We were going to start working out again. Like, we would have these conversations, and we'd be upset to each other about ourselves, how we had let ourselves go and how horrible we were feeling all the time. We felt so unhealthy. We felt tired. We felt groggy. We just felt angry because of it. Like, it just wasn't a healthy way to live, the way we were living with our food choices, our activity levels, and everything overall. So finally, it was just a random thing. I was looking on Instagram one night. I was just looking through transformation pictures. That was something I like to do every once in a while when I felt this like spark of motivation to lose weight and I really wanted to do it. And I would get all this motivation and then just never stick to it. Even looking at these people's pictures, seeing that it was possible, I still didn't think it was possible for me. So then one night when I was looking at these pictures, I found a girl who had done WW, and I had heard about Weight Watchers as a kid. I like thought about it as like something people's moms did, because I really didn't know much about it, and I just knew it was like, I thought you had to kind of eat their certain foods. I thought you had to track, and then I don't know. I thought you had to go into these meetings and do weigh-ins, and that like scared the crap out of me. So that was not something I was going to do. When I was looking it up that night, I found out that they actually do just have a version that's on an app. Because I could do that and not have to worry about going and doing these like in-person weigh-ins and have like an actual coach, I could just do this on my own. I started to get a little motivated and think like maybe this is possible. So Adam and I had done MyFitnessPal in the past where we track calories, but we also were making it kind of like a weight loss competition with each other to see who could lose the most. And it just was like an unhealthy way to do it, and it just never worked for us. And counting calories honestly never worked for us because it was just too overwhelming. I know some people it works for, but personally for us, didn't stick to it and we didn't enjoy it. So after seeing the WW online program, I talked to Adam the next day, and pretty much in that moment, we just decided, I have a free month going on. Let's just do the free month, see what happens. And what do we have to lose? Like, we are so sick of feeling like this. This is something that could work for us. Let's just try it. I saw that it had worked for so many other people, and so I just did it. And so we signed up that day and immediately just started the program. That was so eye-opening to us. And I think that is what just like sparked everything for us. So I'm gonna go more into WW and our food, but before I get into that, I really want to talk about mindset, because mindset is what made the difference this time for us. This is what made it possible for us to achieve our goals and change our lifestyle. And for so long, I had gotten to the point where I just didn't care. Like, I thought I didn't deserve to treat myself well. I thought I had just let myself go and it just wasn't even worth it. I got to the point where I wouldn't look in a mirror. I would go full days without even looking in a mirror. Like, I hated seeing myself. I just felt so self-conscious because I knew what I was doing. And it was like I was like sabotaging myself and I just couldn't help myself. I didn't know how to get out of it. And so I just kind of gave up. I just kind of said, this is it. This is going to be the rest of your life. And it wasn't until I started getting worried about becoming sick because of it that I really started getting more serious about looking into things and trying to change my lifestyle. One thing that was game-changing for me was realizing that this isn't all my fault. And it's kind of hard to explain what I mean by that, because yes, you could say it is my fault. I made the food choices that I did, but there was so much behind why I was making the choices I was making, why I was eating food to deal with stress. I was using food as a way to cope with these other issues in my life that the food was actually just making it worse. And I just didn't see that because I got so much comfort from this food. When I kind of realized, like, no, there's more to this than just you making bad choices. You're not just weak because you're making these choices. When I kind of realized that, and I took the shame off myself, and I took the negative feelings I had towards myself, the negative self-talk that I was constantly telling myself, all these horrible things that weren't even true. And it was horrible that I was doing this to myself, but I was just keeping myself in this position. And so when I realized that I needed to change my mindset, that was huge for me, because it helped me to focus on looking at the excuses I was making, finding the issues that were causing them, and fixing those issues. Because I was totally spreading myself too thin with my business. I was working, there were some weeks I was working 50, 60, 70 hours on cookies and stuff while working 40 to 50 hours at a full-time job. And I was killing myself. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating healthy. I was just not taking care of myself. I never made myself a priority. I always felt bad about everything. It just was not a good place to be in. Realizing that was huge for me. So it wasn't easy, but I decided to take my job part-time while doing cookies. That helped me out a little bit for a couple months, but I still realized that it was just too much for me. And I was still spreading myself too thin, and that it was a really hard decision. Obviously, it made things more difficult with money, but it was something that Adam and I talked about, and I knew that this would help my situation. I quit my full-time job. I took on my business full-time. That was insane what it did for me. Even going part-time and being able to dedicate a little bit more time just to sleeping or to actually cooking meals or to prepping food, it made all the difference for me. And so going along with mindset, one huge change I had to make was how I talked to myself. I realized, like, the way I talked to myself was horrible. I was constantly bringing myself down, constantly telling myself I wasn't good enough, wasn't attractive enough, wasn't fit enough, wasn't anything. I was never enough for myself, and I was just bringing myself down. I knew that I had to change something there, and it was just talking nicely to myself. Positive self-talk made a huge difference in my journey. I'm talking about, like, in the mirror saying, like, yeah, I look good. Like, wow, look at how good my hair looks today. Look at how good this looks today. Or I feel so great about this. I'm so confident in this. Like, actually saying these things out loud, looking in the mirror and actually saying them. Even if sometimes I was like faking it till I made it, it helped, because just hearing those positive thoughts, they turned into positive actions, and it helped me make better choices for myself in the long run. And it was just seriously game-changing. So think about how you talk to yourself, even in your head, even if it's not out loud. I talk to myself out loud all the time, but if you're just talking in your head to yourself, don't think such negative things about yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, because you're your hardest judge. So you're seeing things differently than what they really even are sometimes. And I knew that I was convincing myself in my head that I wasn't good enough and all this stuff, and it was just keeping me in that spot. So one thing that really helped Adam and I was that we didn't tell anybody that we were doing this. So in the past, we had done like juice cleanses. We had done, like I said, MyFitnessPal. We had tried like Slim Fast, like different stuff like that. We were just constantly trying different things to try to help us lose weight, but we would always tell people about it. And it like made us feel shame when we couldn't like actually just stick to the program, and then someone would ask about it a week later and be like, oh yeah, about that. So it really did help us to not tell anyone. And we just wanted to kind of see like how long will it take till people notice. People started noticing for Adam before me, but keeping it a secret actually really helped. I'm not saying you have to do this completely by yourself. I don't think that's a good idea either. I don't know, sometimes maybe it'll help you commit more if you tell people and then you're kind of committed to it. But for me personally, not telling people took so much pressure off, and it made it more exciting. Like I wanted to stick to it to see how long it would take till people saw the results. It made it more exciting not telling people. Okay, I just kind of want to talk about WW and how that really has changed a lot for me. So like I said, Adam and I decided to sign up for WW. We got started on the program, and one of the first things that we did, which I think this was one of the most beneficial things we did, I think this put a flame under our butts to get started with our weight loss journey, because we were shocked. So what we did was, when we first got WW, we like to just like explore the app, and we were just kind of messing around, and we found that it had a restaurants tab. And so you could look up different restaurants, look up the meals you're eating and how many points there are. So we decided to enter some of the old meals that we would eat every day. We were eating like double our points in one meal every single day. So on WW, you get a certain amount of daily points, you get a certain amount of weekly points. Dailies, you get to eat every day and you try to use those up. But if you go over them, you take from the bank of weeklies, which refresh every week. Starting out, I had 38 dailies. I'm now currently at 24 dailies, because as you lose weight, you get less dailies. But I was at 38 dailies, and we were looking up some of the meals we were eating at restaurants. 70, 80, 90 points for meals that we were eating every single day. That blew our mind, and that almost scared us. Like, what have we been doing? We truly did not realize how high point these foods we were eating were and how quickly they added up when we were eating them. So we also scanned a lot of the sauces we ate. I would be eating my daily points, 24 points in sauces, and not even know it. I never had an issue eating like fruits and vegetables too. We ate that with it, but it was just like, we thought we were eating healthy, eating a salad for lunch and then having that shake for dinner. And it was just crazy to me. So that really helped us a lot to stay on track and to stay motivated and just realize like, wow, this stuff's actually worse than we realized. And like I said, Adam and I ate out a lot when we were gaining weight at the peak of it, multiple times a day at times. And that was not only hard on our weight gain, but also money. Like, we were spending a lot of money eating out, and it was just not good for us, not good for our lifestyle. Like, we wanted to make a change. So one thing that we did was the first about month and a half, we did not have fast food one time. And it wasn't because we wanted to restrict it. We knew that we were going to incorporate it later in our journey, but really we just wanted to see like how much better we can feel going without it, how long we can stay consistent making healthy meals. And I don't know, I just really think that that helped to jumpstart our weight loss journey, because we didn't depend on the fast food. It wasn't even like we were really restricting it from ourselves though, because we really didn't want it. When we started eating these healthier meals that we were making at home, we felt so much better that we didn't crave the fast food like we had before. Even the first week may have been hard because we didn't want to make all the meals, but even a week in, I didn't want the fast food like I had before. Like, I used to crave it, and now even the thought of it just kind of makes me feel like blah. And I still do eat it, but I make way different choices when I'm eating out. Like I said, we knew that we weren't going to restrict fast food. We knew we were going to incorporate it later in our journey, but just trying to go as long as we could. It was about a month and a half, and I don't know, I just really think that motivated us and kind of just got us on track to start our journey. It helped us lose a good amount in our first month, and yeah, it was not the easiest at times because, like I said, fast food is so convenient, but we made it work and it made such a difference. So then about a month and a half in was when we first got fast food. We got Chick-fil-A, and that was when we just started to learn how to order healthier options, lower point options when we go out to restaurants or fast food. And the WW app was so helpful with that. Now we go out multiple times a week and we're able to make healthy choices, work them into our plan, and it's convenient, but we're not depending on it like we were before. And I know I said we were trying to save money by not eating out, but that also helped me to kind of justify like, okay, we were spending all this money before on fast food. Let's put a little bit of that money towards healthy food. Like, sometimes these healthier options are more expensive. Even like some of the protein bars or the supplements I use, they're pricier, but when I'm putting this money into my health, it actually motivates me more because I'm spending my hard-earned cash on health. I'm gonna actually like stick to it and make it worth my while. So I know that's not something everyone could do, and I'm not saying that you need to spend a bunch of money on losing weight. You don't at all. Like, you could do it in a very cheap way. But for us personally, finding new healthy snacks, mixing it up like that, spending a little bit of money on food actually really motivated us. It really made this journey fun, and it really helped us out. Another thing I want to throw in really quick as I drink my water is that water is top 3 most important things when you're trying to lose weight. Like, you have to stay on top of your water intake. It is amazing what it can do. And even just staying, water was something I always slacked with before, and now I make it a huge focus. It actually just gives me energy to stay hydrated. It keeps my bloating down in my stomach. It's huge what it can do for your digestion and just staying healthy. So one thing I did was I got this half-gallon water bottle, and Adam actually has a gallon version of it, and I just fill it up in the morning, finish it by the end of the day. And that's kind of just like my extra water that I think about. Throughout the day, I'm also drinking glasses of water with like meals and stuff. I don't use this really for meals. I try to just make this like my extra water that I get in. So the days I don't drink my water, I get so mad at myself because I feel like garbage by the end of the day because of it. And I'm like, why didn't I just do it? And then I try to make up for it by chugging water, and it doesn't always work. So stay on top of your water because I can't even explain how much it helps. One thing I want to talk about with food is staying prepared. One thing that really helped us and still helps us, I still do this every single week, is just having ingredients prepped. And I don't even do it all specifically on one day. Pretty much when I run out of an ingredient, I just make more of it in bulk. So what I'm talking about is jasmine rice. I always make a batch of jasmine rice in my rice cooker, and it makes like 5 containers, and then I could just leave it in the fridge throughout the week, portion out what I need, and then when I run out of it, I make more. Same thing with 2 ingredient dough. If we're making 2 ingredient dough for a meal, I'll make the meal for us, but then I triple the recipe so that I can make some everything bagels for us, some pitas, and then we can just leave that in the fridge and we have ingredients ready to make quick, healthy meals. Another thing, and this is something that I always have on hand because it's so flavorful and so good and it helps me get my veggies, is just sauteed veggies in the fridge. So usually I just have a mix of chopped up peppers and onions that I saute, and sometimes I add zucchini in is really good, but I just always have a big container of cooked peppers and onions because it is so good on wraps. It's so good in bowls. I can use it on pizzas. I can use it in pretty much every meal we make. I even use it in like eggs and stuff, and just to have it in the fridge, it's an easy serving of vegetables that I can throw on, and it's filling and it's just ready. And then another thing along the lines of that, of like prepping certain ingredients, I double up a meal when I make it. So if I'm buying a pound of meat, Adam and I don't eat that in one meal. So I split it up into 2 meals. I pretty much double the meal, all the ingredients, so that we just have them pre-made in containers, portioned out for lunches or for dinners a different day. And it just makes it so much easier. I pretty much double up every dinner we make, so we always have leftovers. It's just so convenient, and you just don't have an excuse then. The food's in there, it's healthy, and then you already know how many points it is because you already tracked it the day before. And so it's just such a convenient way to stay on track. And we do this every single week now. This has just been such a life-changing experience, and there's just so many changes we've made, little and big. And I don't know, I'm just really hoping that this can help someone out there that was in my position or in our position, whether it's giving you ideas, giving you a little bit of motivation to just get started, because you just have to start with these small changes. Like, it doesn't even have to be everything I'm talking about. Even if it's just focusing on water and not drinking your calories for a few days, and then you can slowly incorporate adding in the vegetables. And then it doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing, because that is what leads to failure most of the time. That is what always led to failure for us, was that we thought it was all or nothing. We thought that if we messed up, first of all, we always said, okay, we'll just start tomorrow. We'll just start tomorrow. So then we would start tomorrow, or we would just never start tomorrow. We would just mess up that whole day, say we were going to start tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and we're still messing up. And messing up, I just mean going off track of what we were trying to do. Even if we had like a rough night, like there are sometimes where I get into my caramel cashew trail mix that is like my weakness, and I eat way more than I even planned on tracking or that I do track, and I get down. But I have to remember this is all about balance, and I have tomorrow to start again, and it's not all or nothing. If you slip up and you have a bad meal or a full bad day even, it doesn't ruin your progress. You're not going to gain 20 pounds overnight. You just have to focus the next day, get back on track, don't get in a rut, and don't get down on yourself, because we're human and it's about balance. You have to still treat yourself. If you restrict yourself, you're not going to achieve your goals, because it's just not a sustainable lifestyle restricting yourself from things, especially if you want them, because that's all you're going to think about until you get them. Going along with that, back to a little bit of the food, what to do when you have cravings. And Adam and I have cravings all the time, and sometimes for the food that we were eating previously that sometimes may not be the best choices for us with our goals. We have found some good substitutes to make up for the foods that we no longer really want to incorporate. So in a way, we're not restricting because we've just found substitutes for these items. But if it came down to it and that item was in front of us and we wanted it, we would still eat it. We don't restrict any type of food. We still will eat a donut. Even if it's 10 points, we track the donut. Like, I have learned that restricting, even when I want my trail mix, there are times where I'm like, I'm gonna take a week off trail mix because I like it and I'm eating too much of it. Like, no, if I restrict myself, then I just keep thinking about it and I keep wanting it and more and more. And then when I do get it, I indulge in it. And it just, I'd rather have a little bit every day, and then space it out. And then maybe I don't even want it one day because I had it yesterday. Like, not restricting yourself is so important. At least for us personally, it made such a difference. We found all these food substitutes that have just been amazing. I really like wraps and like burritos and stuff and tortillas. I love flour tortillas. But we found a replacement that instead of a regular tortilla, which was like 4 or 5 smart points, we found these Olay wellness wraps that are 1 smart point each. And I have those every single day and they're so good and they taste so similar to a regular tortilla. Laughing Cow to replace cream cheese. Finding Bolt House ranches, which are yogurt based dressings. Barbecue ranch is my favorite, and I don't even crave Chick-fil-A sauce. I don't even crave those old sauces that were so high point. I just want my Bolt House ranch. It's so important to find these foods that you like. Obviously, don't find something that's a substitute that is like tastes too healthy or doesn't taste like similar enough. It's not really making that replacement. Like, these things have actually replaced the food items I'm talking about, and I don't miss the other ones. Previously, when we had tried to lose weight, we always set like certain weight goals by a certain date, and that just never seemed to motivate me. And it seemed to just discourage me more because there was every time I hit that date and I didn't hit my weight goal, I just gave up. And I was so frustrated and so disappointed in myself. And really, the scale is so difficult to use as a weight loss tool. It's so good to measure your progress, but at the same time, it's not something to just depend on. It doesn't mean everything. What we decided to do was to reward ourselves on staying consistent. Instead of rewarding ourselves on hitting these goals, we were going to reward ourselves on staying consistent with this healthy lifestyle. So what we did was, right in the beginning, we decided, okay, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Those are our first rewards we're going to do. So 1 month, I decided that I was going to, if I stayed consistent with my journey for a full month, I was going to get myself this giant foot massager off Amazon that I had my eye on. And so it was a little pricier, but it was something that was going to help my health. It was going to benefit me. So I figured that would be a good reward. So we hit 1 month in and stayed consistent, and we got ourselves our reward. So I got that. Adam got himself like a PS4 controller. So it was just like a little reward. It doesn't have to be like a huge monetary thing. Mine was a little bit more pricey, but anyway, then for 3 months, I decided to reward myself with my tattoo. And then for 6 months, I decided that I was going to dye my hair blue, which was something that I always wanted to do. I had done it previously and I loved it, but I just like I said, I didn't care about myself. I didn't care about my appearance for so long. Like, I just didn't even want to put in the effort. So I was like, I'm actually going to do this again. It's something I really wanted, and it's something that made me feel confident and happy. And that was going to be my 6 month reward. Then 9 months in, I bought a bunch of new clothes. I bought some from Fabletics, which are a little bit more expensive. So I decided to treat myself with some new clothes because I needed them. So that was my 9 month reward. And then now we hit a year. So I actually just ordered my reward for staying consistent on my health journey for 1 full year. And I got myself some new Moxie roller skates that I'm really excited about, as well as Adam and I together are getting ourselves a Nespresso so that we can make espresso at home without having to go to Starbucks every day. And we're super excited about that. So going along with the consistency, that again, like I said, it took some pressure off because just focusing on consistency, like making these choices consistently each day, I was just focusing on the 1 day ahead. I would get through staying consistent that day, and then there was the next day. But for some reason, like trying to hit a certain weight was just like so much pressure on us, and I was so hard on myself. So one thing that's really important is just don't be hard on yourself in this journey, because you're learning how to take care of yourself. You're learning how to eat well. Like, we make mistakes, we get stressed out, we're human. It's all about balance. It's fine. It's not going to ruin your progress. And you just have to remember that just by staying consistent. So when you stay consistent, yeah, you had a mess up, but then you get right back on track and you feel great. So that was huge for us. Okay, so along with consistency, and I get a good amount of questions about this, about like staying consistent on the weekends and like at events and stuff. 1 day, like I said, doesn't make a a difference. When Adam and I go to like a party or an event or something, we don't restrict ourselves. We limit our portions a little bit more than we may have in the past. Sometimes we track it, sometimes we just like enter the points for it for the day, but really we like to like kind of just say, okay, today's going to be a no tracking day. And it's not a big deal because we just get on track the next day because we're consistent. So if you just stay consistent, you can incorporate anything you enjoy. You just need to get back on track the next day or stay consistent and have the rest of the day good and drink your water and get your sleep and get some activity in. Like, it's not just an all or nothing thing with one meal that you have. Don't be afraid to treat yourself and don't restrict yourself. I'm telling you, it makes such a difference in your journey because this is a lifestyle change. This isn't just you're trying to lose weight as fast as you can in 6 months and then you're just going to gain it all back if you do it in a way that's not sustainable. This is going to be slow changes. It's going to be small changes. And I'm saying this, and I lost 70 pounds in a year, and I'm not kidding. I didn't restrict myself. I was consistent and I stayed on track for a year and I was able to lose 70 pounds. And guys, I say that out loud and I don't even believe it because I never thought I could do this and I never thought it was even possible the way I've been eating. I don't feel restricted. I don't feel hungry. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I feel healthy. I feel full and I feel happy because of it. And it's just so important that you do what's sustainable for your lifestyle. One more thing with food is flavor your food. Seasonings that are 0 smart points and different marinades or sauces. There's so many different ways you can make your food so flavorful without adding extra points, without adding all the butter. Finding different things to flavor your food makes such a difference. You don't have to be some amazing cook. It really isn't that difficult to flavor your food well. I have a huge collection of seasonings that just really helped us mix up our meals and even just give like the same meal different flavors. So I just want to talk about incorporating activity, and I waited to talk about this until later in the video because obviously physical activity is important. However, I have found that every time I haven't been able to stick to a lifestyle change to lose weight is because I depend so much on the physical activity, thinking that I'm burning a lot more than I really am. And then I just eat those calories and more after I finish the physical activity because I feel like I worked harder than I really did. And not even that I didn't work hard. It was just like, I think I burn more calories than I do. And I think I can eat them to make up for it. And then I just stay in the spot I'm at. I waited like 2 to 3 months to really start incorporating physical activity. Before then, it was just focusing on WW. Maybe walking the dogs counted, but other than that, I did not do anything. Around then, I invested in some rollerblades, and I have just always loved rollerblading as a kid, and it was something that I just was like always embarrassed about. Even as a kid, I was embarrassed to rollerblade. I thought I was a figure skater on my rollerblades, and I just had so much fun with it. So I was nervous to get rollerblades because I was embarrassed that I was gonna look like a fool on them and maybe not even enjoy it. I thought maybe it was gonna be painful now that I was bigger, and I was nervous to do it, but I just went to Dick's, bought a pair of rollerblades, and that was one of the best things I could have done on my journey because now I have an activity that I can get out, get some cardio in, get some fresh air. It's like my therapy to just think or talk with my friend when we go. It's been so beneficial for my health. Then it got too cold out to rollerblade in the winter. What I decided to do is I had been watching Mari Llewellyn's videos on YouTube. She was just always really inspirational to me, and she has a gym guide. So a gym guide and a home guide. So I purchased those. I think it was like $25, and I don't even know if she sells them anymore because she's actually put all of her workouts on the Slay app, which you can subscribe to, and it gives you workouts. But I had the guides, and so I got myself a home guide. I started doing those workouts at home. Then I also purchased her gym guide, which helped me so much to just have confidence in the gym. It gave me something to follow. It gave me different exercise ideas, and I stuck with that for a little bit until I actually was confident enough in the gym to just do my own thing. It kind of clicked again. Like I remembered different lifts that I used to love. And when I was in volleyball, that was like my favorite thing was weightlifting. And it really sucked when I got out of school and I graduated and I stopped lifting weights. I stopped working out in general. But anyway, it just felt good. I had the confidence again to get back in the gym by myself, which was something I don't even think I used to do before. I used to always make Adam come with me to the gym. I go there and I do the lifts that I enjoy. And that's like, first of all, what gets me there because I'm excited to do what I enjoy. Maybe it's not the perfect plan to form my body the way I would want to, but it gets me working out and moving and I'm seeing the progress. So something's working, but I just really enjoy it. It makes it a lot more fun for me to just go do what I want to do when I'm there. So now I have kind of a combination of the two. So I go skate during the day because it's gotten nice out. So I'll try to skate during the day and then go lift weights at night. But again, I don't depend on it. I'm more focused on my food choices. Then the last thing that I kind of want to talk about, because a lot of this video is just a little bit more in detail of my 50-pound weight loss video, but it's kind of crazy. I lost 50 pounds in 5 months, and then I only lost an additional 20 pounds in those 7 extra months. So, but I'm happy with that, and I'm so happy with where I'm at, and it was just a healthy way for me to lose. And I still do have weight that I want to lose. I still have some fat that I want to lose. I'm at a spot that's actually really difficult right now because I've been incorporating so much weightlifting that I'm building muscle in places that I have never had muscle before. It feels so good, but also the scale is not making me happy because I'm gaining weight while I'm still eating in a calorie deficit, and I'm still trying to lose weight, but also I want to build muscle at the same time. So I've really stepped away from the scale a lot because it brings me down a lot. And I hear this from so many other people, and this is what I say, like, when you hit a plateau, take a step away from the scale, seriously, because the scale isn't everything. It's a good way to measure your progress, and I'm happy that I know that I've lost 70 pounds because I weighed myself in the beginning and I did weekly weigh-ins, but it's not everything. And that is why I'm so huge on taking progress pictures, because oh my gosh, when I have been stuck in a rut and I feel down about something, or my weigh-in isn't what I want, or anything that has gotten me stuck on this journey, I look at those pictures and I am better. And obviously it doesn't always fix the problem, but it shows me the progress I've made, and it shows me maybe what I'm not able to see in the mirror. And so highly, highly recommend, when you start out, take pictures. Take pictures in multiple outfits. Go through your old photos and have pictures ready, saved, so that you can compare the progress that you've made. Like, it helps so much because there's so much you don't see when you're losing weight and you don't realize the progress you're making. You look at yourself every day, you're not seeing it, but when you can look at it in a picture, or you can show someone else in a picture, it is so motivating, and it shows that you've made progress when you don't feel like you have. So what I did is, when we decided we were doing WW that day, and you can see my face in the picture, I never thought I was going to be posting these pictures. I truly at that point still didn't even know we were going to commit to this journey the way that we did. I took pictures in like 6 or 7 different outfits, different angles, front and side. One thing I didn't do is take measurements or videos, which I wish I would have. I wish I would have just taken some videos of myself standing and turning, or some measurements of myself to see what progress I have actually made, because I didn't take any. So that's kind of frustrating. One thing that I mentioned also in my 50-pound video that was just like such a helpful tip for me is, if you go in your phone and you hit the settings on the picture, you can hit hide photo, and it goes to a secret hidden folder where you can keep all of your pictures. I think I have 100 pictures in my hidden file that are all just different poses, different outfits throughout my journey, because I started to take pictures every single week, because you will see the difference even in just week to week. So that's something that I just really recommend, especially when you hit a plateau or the scale's not working for you. Take the progress pictures. If you're embarrassed about taking them, hide them in your phone, because I used to take them and then delete them because I was scared someone was going to see them, and keeping them was just so important to me on my journey. So don't focus on the scale if you're hitting a plateau. I really think that can get in your head mentally, and that can just put you in a more of a rut. Some things too. Focus on drinking your water. Focus on getting sleep. Those are the 2 most important things when I hit a plateau or when the scale isn't moving. Like, if I just focus on those even for a week straight, it is amazing what a difference it can make. Your sleep is so important, and your water intake is so important. But also just focusing on different NSVs, which are non-scale victories. So like I said, taking the progress pictures, that's an example, but even like trying on old clothes. Sometimes I randomly will just go in my closet, try on some old clothes I used to wear, and it feels good that these clothes are bigger than they used to be, and clothes that I never thought I'd wear again, I'm fitting in again. And so that's just something that motivates me when the scale's not moving. And then one other thing that really helped me when I was starting out in the beginning was, because I'm always trying to find different ways to motivate myself, and like I said, I had looked at someone's transformation picture that was on WW, and that helped me a ton. But specifically when that happened, I was looking for people with my body type, maybe my starting weight, to see kind of what they looked like in their current weight and what their transformation was. Like, pretty much what my body type could kind of form into. Obviously, it's not going to be the same for everyone. Everyone's different. But seeing a girl that was 6 foot tall, like Mari, I related to her so much because she was taller and her build was more similar to mine. So that just kind of gave me a little bit more motivation to see that someone else like me could do it and to see what someone else like me would maybe look like. And like I said, it's not something to stick to. It was just like an idea for motivation, and it helped me a ton. It really did. So if that helps you, finding other people who have similar body sizes, body shapes as your starting weight, it really can be motivating to see what they've accomplished and what progress you can make. One other thing that has really just held me accountable on this journey is a few months into my journey, I created an Instagram page, and it was just to connect with more people in the WW community. And so I think this is important if you're trying to do this alone. Like, don't, because there are people out there that want to help you and they want to support you, and me included. Like, I love receiving messages. I love hearing about your guys' stories. Like, it makes such a difference when you have support from others who are going through the same thing that you're going through. So obviously it helped to have Adam going through this with me, but I also created this Instagram and met so many amazing people who are going through the same journey, the same struggles, the same accomplishments. Like, it's just such a positive thing. And yeah, there are times where it may get to you if you are starting to compare yourself to other people, but like, you have to remind yourself not to do that, because it's your own journey and you'll get the results if you just stay consistent to your journey and focus on you. With this social media, just being able to talk to other people, get different food ideas. You can get so many ideas off like Instagram and YouTube, and really connecting with people on their weight loss journey as well helped me so much. And it almost took some of like the shame or the embarrassment out of anything that I felt, which again, when I say this, like, I shouldn't have had it. And I'm not saying that you should be shameful or embarrassed. Like, this was just my personal experience, the mental issues that I dealt with, the mental challenges that I dealt with. Having a social media account specifically for my journey just helped me so much to even keep myself accountable, because then people were following my journey, and then I really wanted to stick with it even more, and it just made it so much more fun. So if that's something that could help you, think about it. I didn't tell anyone that I knew about this page until like months in, because I didn't want to and I didn't feel comfortable yet. But at the time I felt comfortable, and that maybe I could help others that I knew. That was when I felt comfortable sharing my page. So it's all up to you though. Your whole journey is your choices. You create the lifestyle that you want. And I guess just realizing that everything was in my control. My excuses that I was making, like, everything was in my control, and I had to make the change, because nobody was going to do it for me. Nobody was going to tell me, hey, you need to stop eating a grilled cheese every day for lunch. That is not going to be healthy for you. Nobody was going to do it for me. I had to make the change. I had to realize that I was making these excuses, just take control of my life. It did take adjusting. It was stressful for me to quit my job and try to make time for myself, but I had to do it, or I was going to keep going in the direction I was going. You cannot fill from an empty cup. You cannot help others when you can't help yourself. You have to take care of yourself first. And it's not selfish. And so realizing that just changed my life, and I'm the healthiest I've ever been now. Adam's the healthiest he's ever been. We are active. We make healthy food choices. We're taking care of ourselves. And obviously, yeah, we have days where we get down. I have days where I still get so mentally in my head, and it's hard. And we have days where they're not the best. Like, I'm not trying to make it sound like everything's so great, but at the same time, you are in control of your life. You are in control of the decisions you make. Just realizing that made such a difference for me in my journey. So it's like tough love, and I don't want to sound harsh about this, but you just have to realize that this is in your control, and you will feel so much better when you just start to make these small changes for yourself. Do it for yourself. I did it for all the wrong reasons before. I cared so much about what I looked like. I cared what people thought about me so much, and I can't even explain how much I don't care about that now. And I don't even mean that in a bad way, like I don't care about what people think of me. I do. But at the same time, there's certain things that if someone's gonna judge me, you don't need that in your life. So kind of just thinking about that and realizing that I'm in control and I need to make these changes for myself, it just made such a difference for me. I feel like I've talked so much, and I just really hope I've covered everything, because I have learned so much in this past year about myself, about weight loss, about just living a sustainable life. And it has opened my eyes and just been the most life-changing experience. And I just hope that I can help someone else, even just one other person, in the way that I was helped when I made the change, because it is so possible for everyone. It's just hard. It's not always easy, but it is so possible. And if you start small and you just start focusing on consistency and not results, I promise you, you will start to make a change. You will start to see the results, because small changes add up to so much. Everything I've talked about has just been small changes that we've made throughout this past year that have led to huge results. And so if you guys ever have any questions, please feel free to DM me on my Instagram. You could leave a comment below, and I'm always willing to talk about WW, my journey, my mental health with weight loss. That's something that is just not talked about enough, and it's huge. It's so important. So please feel free to reach out to me. I love to talk about it and share my experience and hear about yours. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Sorry if it was all over the place. I just really had so much to get out. I've been thinking about this video for weeks now, and I just keep adding stuff to my notes on my phone because like I just want to tell all the tips and all the changes that we made that have helped us, because some of them are just so possible and so sustainable in your lifestyle, and it can make a huge difference. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time.